What's up, guys? It's John Reeves Live, and today we're going to be checking out a song performance by Chuck Adams on America's Got Talent. This is Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. I freaking love this band. I love this song. Anytime I ever hear it, it reminds me of my early childhood. I grew up way early listening to music and just falling in love with like the guitar tones of this, the vocal melodies, the lyrics, and all of that. So I'm really excited to see how Chuck Adams does this. And like, I honestly feel like this is a perfect song on the perfect stage for him to show us what he's got. So in saying all that, if y'all are new to my channel, smash that sub button and let's check this out together. Freaking boop, and then hit that play button. Boom!
Welcome.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Get it.
Well, actually, I know a little bit about you already, actually, because I know your mum.
Hey.
That is such a random thing to start it off with there, buddy. Okay, you gotta be like, well, I know a lot about you because I know your mom. And like, the way he said it makes you think like, how well does he know his mother, dude?
You know his mom?
Yeah, we
How
met.
do you know his mom?
Because I said hello.
Where?
There, in the front row.
Oh.
You make it sound like you're
Yeah, he really did. He just made that sound like they're like old school friends.
forever or something.
I do make friends forever. I just like your mum. Anyway,
That's so
welcome.
random,
Your
So
name-
dude.
happy. My name is Chuck Adams.
Okay, welcome, Chuck Adams.
Thank you.
Tell us about you, Chuck.
Let's see. This thing started as a child, went quickly to a kind of a record deal.
Oh, dang.
That happened pretty quickly.
Okay.
That went south like a lot of them do.
Uh-huh.
And then I just kept going. And then next thing you know, it's 10, 12 years later.
Wow.
And I have somebody like my mother who has been asking me to do this show for
Aw.
a decade at least.
Because she's friends with Timon.
Because she's from the
Yeah,
Today.
she is now, dude.
That's for you, Mom.
Dang, look,
Okay.
he's over there looking at his mom like, man, we already won this. Thank you, Mom. Hell yeah. Dude, I don't know. I love that. I think that's so funny. And also, I just wanted to touch on this really quick. He was saying that like he got an early record deal early on in life. And it's hard, like, if you've got like even a slight taste of success at your passion in life early on in life, it's hard to ever give that up, man. You might go through periods where you're like not as able to pursue that dream or something like that, but it's very difficult to ever actually fully be like, well, I'm not doing that anymore, because you've already experienced that success. And so like, especially if there is a fall afterwards, which like life is peaks and valleys, people, so you will definitely have some kind of fallout, but like it's really difficult to give that up ever. And I love to see that he's like pursuing it still and like getting recognition on America's Got Talent now. And his
And
mom
how
played
old
a
are you?
rock.
I'm 40 years old.
No freaking way, dude.
It came fast.
Good. Okay, let's do it.
I wasn't thinking that, dude. I thought he was going to be like, he doesn't look 40. That was a good thing. And neither does his mom. His mom looks like she's 40, dude. Maybe.
And I give up forever to touch it.
Oh, God.
I
Okay.
know that you feel me somehow. You're the closest to heaven that I'll ever be.
Dang.
And I don't want to go home right now.
Such a great start, dude. I love that so much.
And all I can taste is moment. And all I can breathe is your light. And sooner or later it's over.
He's got such a good
I
voice.
just don't want to miss you now.
Okay.
And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. When everything's meant to be broken,
Aw.
I just want you to know why.
That is beautiful.
And you can't fight the tears that ain't coming, or the moment of truth in your eyes. When everything feels like the movies, yeah, you bleed just to know you're alive.
Get it, man.
And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they understand.
So well
When
done.
everything's meant to be broken, I just want you to know who I am. I just want you to know who I am.
Oh, my God. Yeah, heck yes, man. I freaking love that. I love that so much. Full standing ovation. By the way, did everybody in the crowd get a memo to wear black shirt? Is that what's happening here? I gotta say, the entire performance, he was looking at his mom. Anytime he ever needed, like, maybe, I think it's like a comforting thing, you know what I mean? But anytime, like, he was just singing through the song, but not like a power part, his eyes were looking in the same direction, like directly over at his mom, I think. I think that's where she's at. But, like, he just kept on looking that way. And I think that's, like, a really, I don't know, that's a beautiful thing in my opinion, because like if I'm ever nervous in a stage or something like that, I'll look like out above the crowd or something like that. I just don't really like, if I'm nervous, I don't necessarily want to like make eye contact with somebody, you know what I mean? But the fact that he's making eye contact with his mom that time, and like he keeps going over there and doing that, you can tell that he's got a great relationship with her, and she's kind of like his comfort thing right there. So that's awesome, man. That's very cool. I love that.
Okay, Chuck. You weren't messing around, were you? How did that feel?
Oh, it felt great, man.
Felt great.
Heck yes, dude.
Big reaction. Howie.
I really like you. I like your vibe. There's a vibe about you that is kind of this relaxed. Maybe it's the fact that you're turning 40 years old and you've been doing it. And
dude,
you know
yeah.
who you are now more than you did when you had your record deal.
Thank you.
I'm really curious about his
You're
history.
a great
Like,
performer,
what was he doing
great
back
singer,
then?
great guitarist player, but I think
Guitarist
today
player?
nerves threw you off.
Ah, dang,
so
really?
much more that I know you can give.
Okay, the thing that I'm going to agree with her on that is probably some of those highs that he was hitting. There was one area where he did kind of like crack a little bit, but he recovered really freaking well, which shows a lot of experience. But there was like definitely some nerves there. So I do agree with her, but you know.
I mean, you had me at the first strumming of your guitar.
Thank you.
Guitarist
Just
player.
saying.
I've never heard somebody call it a guitarist player before, but I like it.
I feel like you can go very far in this competition.
Thank you.
If this was about giving you confidence, this absolutely worked.
Oh, nice. Heck yes, man.
You have a presence about you.
He definitely does.
If you can reinterpret a song in a way that we've never heard before, then it goes from here to there. Because you don't have to worry about your voice or your stage presence because you got that.
Dang,
I
man.
like you.
Thank you.
Okay, Howie.
Listen, translation there. He likes your mother, sir.
Now,
But also, I think
Yes.
he's freaking amazing artist.
okay, now you got 4 yeses. Congratulations.
Heck yeah, dude. Oh, I was gonna say better let his mom get up on stage and give him a hug or something. You can tell it's such a proud moment for her, man. Heck yeah.
But I like what you said, how he could take a song and make it his.
Anything, yeah.
I could see the cheer in your
Oh. Just for the performance, I'm sure. I gotta say this really quick. So, like, I want to break down a couple of things. First of all, him starting off with just this. I thought that was such a power move, man. Because, like, it allowed his voice to spotlight a lot. And it worked. I was like, what? Because I've heard this song a ton. And we just recently done some reactions to this song being played live and stuff like that. So, like, him just doing this one note. I'm curious if he tuned his guitar in the E, extreme E that freaking the Goo Goo dolls do. I don't really think so, but possibly. But either way, him starting it off just like this.
And I give up forever to touch it.
Because it's so vacant except for his voice, and it allows his voice to just flow right above it. So you already have a great idea of, like, this guy clearly has a beautiful voice. It might not be anything with technique or anything at that moment yet, but you can just identify, like, I like the sound of his voice, and that's right off the gate. So I think that he did a great job by just doing that and just I mean, it's like really, listen how basic that is.
Closest heaven.
So it really gives you like this great feel of like, I love this dude's voice just right off the bat. But then he brings these notes in.
Want to go home right now.
And he can play guitar really well too. So like, And I feel like the moments, like I love his voice higher up in here, but also you can see like, look, he's looking directly over at his mom. And I love that. And she's just like, yep. And holding back the tears, being strong for her boy. I think that's awesome.
Sooner or later,
I want to get into these high notes so you guys can hear some things
just
from here.
don't want to miss you now.
And also, he's almost got like a, does anybody else hear like a slight country twanginess in there, which I think is cool. I'm from Nashville, so I can definitely hear a little bit of that in there. But anyways, go to this high part.
And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand.
So like, I feel like somewhere that she's hearing some of the nerves are going to be like maybe in these higher areas. And the reason I think that is he might have backed off a little bit from his higher notes because of nerves. But I feel like he can go a lot higher than that. Because if you listen to the very first part in your head as a vocalist, you're thinking, da-da-da-da, and you're like that high note. And he's clearly done this quite a bit, so he knows what he's doing, but like he backed away from those high notes, I think, because like whenever you hear it in your head and you're going into the song, I bet 1,000 times he's like this part, this part, this part, this part, this part. And I think he does maybe crack in the second time doing it, and that's where she's talking about. But like he can go higher than that, so I think that's where she's saying nerves. But you can hear that he's capable of going higher whenever he's confident. So let's go to here. I think it's probably like, where's it at? Somewhere right there when he says made. So I'm sorry, by the way, if anybody else is watching this and you're like, the only reason I want to point this out is because I feel like it was nerves, and that's the only reason that happened, because I feel like he's a very capable vocalist. So this is the reason I'm pointing this out, is where you guys can see where she's saying it might have been nerves. I agree with her there.
When everything's made me broken.
But he recovered really well. And also, you can look on his face right there, right? Going even into it, by the way. He's got this like kind of look on his face, and that's anticipation. He's like anticipating about to be hitting that note. It's where everybody's like, oh, this is the part. This is where they're going to be seeing my range. And he's already going into it nervous. And that's why he constricted, because like nerves, and you're just all freaking bundle of energy. You're like, oh God, hit that note. And so like you don't want to be tight whenever you're going into those higher notes. And that's what he was doing there. And that's the reason that like she called out a little bit of his nerves. But we already know that he's fully capable of,
When everything's made me broken.
and we know from back here that he can totally freaking hit that note. So like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Anyways, and he recovered really well. And I think that he did really good. Enough harping on a mishap that happened. I'm glad that he went through, and I feel like he's going to crush it from here. I think he's going to be one of these people on the show where like he might be a sleeper for a lot of people right now, but getting later on into the show, he's going to be crushing it. And I feel like he is going to make it further in the rounds the more confident and comfortable he gets. I'm really like curious to find out what songs he's going to do next, because like if you're pulling out Iris by Goo Goo Dolls, not like on the top 40 charts right now, and people are, you know what I mean, like the people that do like this song or do know this song are gonna be like, yes, he's doing it. But everybody else, there's gonna be a lot of people that probably have no idea what this song is. And so I love the fact that he pulled that out. I feel like it's gonna give a lot more for like the future. I have no idea where we're going from here. Put down like in the comments what song do you guys think he'll do next, or do you think he'll do an original song, because he obviously had a record deal before. Either way, thank you all for checking this one out. I hope you're having a blessed day or night, whatever time it is you're watching this. Spread some positivity out there. Be kind to each other. And if y'all need anything at all of my socials are at John Reeves Live. Send me a message and I shall catch you then. Freaking toodles. Bye.